Hey guys, I know it's been a while, so I figured it'd be a really good idea to just kind of do another breakdown, another kind of like helpful info video just based on my experience as an angler out here in Maryland. So today's topic is striped bass. I'm gonna have a few photos over here just so you kind of know what they look like if you haven't seen any of my other videos where I've caught striped bass. So a little bit of a breakdown. These are a predatory fish that live both out in like coastal areas, but they also move up into tidal rivers and estuaries like the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, I think, is known by most as pretty much striper ground zero. Sorry if I keep looking up. I've actually got a bait in the water right now, so if this video cuts out in the middle of a sentence and I like jump back, I'm kind of filming two separate videos at the same time, so my apologies. Anyway, so that's kind of what striped bass are. They're very aggressive predators and they are super fun to catch, and they get pretty big too. Yeah, that's a 30-pound fish. Not caught here. That was up in Boston. That's not in a video. Sorry. But I'm gonna basically just cover my favorite ways of targeting these fish. So in the bottom of my top favorite methods, I'm gonna go ahead and list bunker. Some people probably call them menhaden. Me and Shane call them bunker. They look like this. They're these little bait fish that form massive schools, and because of that, if you use them as bait, you kind of have to know, okay, if a school swims through, that fish that you're using as bait is probably going to join up with the school, and if that school gets attacked, that's great because you've got a hook in the school and there's a chance you can get bit. But that also, like, your bait looks like every other fish in that school, so your chances kind of are lower. That being said, when it pays off, God, is it fun. So one rung up from that, I'm going to put spot, or some people call them croaker. I love these guys just because, for the simple fact that they're bottom dwellers. They swim down. They kind of keep your line taut for you. They don't swim around as much as bunker do. So it kind of lends them to better live lining. Or you can even throw them you can even use them in conjunction with a method that's going to go right above them, which is number 3, the top bottom rig, because you can put bunker or spot on this and catch striper. I've done it, and also the top bottom rig just kind of happens to be one of my favorite ways of fishing out here in general, just because you can, not only can you catch striper, you can also catch American eel, catfish, all kinds of stuff on a top bottom rig. It's really versatile. Basically, it just kind of looks exactly like this picture's probably long ways. So imagine that, but vertical. So the weight hangs down, and then you've got 2 hooks tied up the line. Think of it like a drop shot with extra steps. Up next on the list, we have topwater lures of any kind, spooks, poppers. I've actually only had really, this is kind of a misleading entry because it's like, I've had limited success on topwater when it comes to striper fishing, but the success I've had is so fun. Actually, one sec. So the topwater lure that I've had the most success with, I forget which video I was using this in. At least I think it was on video. It might not have been. This may have been before I started the channel. This guy, a little 4-inch, I think, Heddon spook. This thing, I mean, it walks across water perfectly. I love this little thing, and I've caught a couple different striper on it. I think I hooked a 5-pounder, but it spit it before I got it up, and I've caught a couple like 1.5 pound, 2-pounders on this. Next up in terms of my favorites are poppers. I actually in a recent video had one miss this, so it works. They both get bit, but hands down, my favorite method to catch striper, like, cannot be topped, are soft plastic flukes and little paddle tail swim baits. These cannot be beat. I've caught more striper on these than anything else. These work. They just work. I've caught a striper on this as late as November. Yeah. And if you are patient enough to let these sink, they'll work for you year round. If you're gunning for bigger fish, I definitely recommend upscaling. I'm just doing like tidal river fishing, so this kind of fits the bait profile that I'm trying to mimic pretty well. This is something that's a little bit more, it's a little easier to fish slower if you don't have the weight, because you can just, it flutters really well. So it's a good presentation for once the weather starts turning colder and you need these fish to you need them to look at it a little bit. Some other really solid picks that I just haven't had a whole ton of luck with are spoons, jerk baits. Both of those work fantastic. I mean, ask anybody that striper fishes and they'll tell you. I mean, jerk baits and spoons are amazing. Me personally, I haven't had a whole ton of success with them, and that very well could just mean that I don't know how to fish with them. You know, but I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to expand my knowledge base and the things that I know how to do as a fisherman. Anyways, guys, there you have it. Those are some of my favorite ways to catch striped bass. Hopefully you guys can take some of these and apply them to, you know, your fishing lives, and you can get out there and target a new species, or maybe just get better at targeting striper. You know, for all you New England Northeast guys, you know, use this, take advantage of it. Although if you're from New England, you probably already knew that, and I'm probably not telling you anything new. So for anyone who's not from New England, if you've got striper in a body of water near you, go check them out if you haven't. They're a lot of fun. And this is coming from a die-hard largemouth fisherman, so I actually just recently got talked into fishing for smallmouth, but I'm still working that one out. So if you guys have any tips for catching smallmouth in clear water, shallow rivers, drop them down in the comments. I promise you I will read them, and if I end up catching a fish using your tip, I'll give you a heart. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Thank you to all my faithful subscribers for sticking with it. It's been rough, I know. Videos haven't been coming out as frequently as I would like, but that's just the way she rolls. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.